What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. So I just wanted to be fully transparent as I was doing this breakdown video after my first pull tonight was a double of Cruyff and Cantona. Obviously the first time I've ever done that. I understand Eto's the best in the business as an advanced striker, but with the way I want to play with Kohler as my target man, it fits perfectly with three shadow strikers of Cruyff, Cantona, and Totti. But as I was doing this quick review, PC's players just came out and I just pulled them prior to, or about in the middle of a 4-hour stream, right? At the beginning, I was hunting for some rewards and events against the AI, and it was incredible. Then we get into games versus real opponents, and in Division 3, as usual, it becomes just a mess. Players running at you 100 miles an hour. I finally realized when many people talk about the delay or heavy gameplay, what they mean. Just some of the goofy passing that was so delayed, not registering commands. Finally got to see what everyone was talking about with eFootball. For the longest time, I either didn't notice it because the game is slower as it is and I'm used to playing FC. So maybe I was having delay, but just not this bad. But tonight, it was ridiculous. I'm talking I would pass the ball, and by the time the pass went off, the player was 10 yards ahead of where he was when I meant to pass it. And it led to all types of craziness. Balls being received in the box for open volleys only for the command not to enter. Like crazy stuff like that. Not to mention just the meta itself with the quick counter and the pressure tactics leads to some ugly, ugly football. So for those of you who don't know, I vow to bring out the football that can be played in this game because Konami added so many details. These legends are so true to their real life counterparts, and all that collectively makes for a magical experience. Like, it can be beautiful, this game, but for the life of me, like I already made a video on it, I can't figure out why Konami added the nonsense they added in that just takes away from the details in the time they spent making a great football game. Quick counter, all the whole X pressure button, the AI pressure with being as powerful as it is, all that combined just makes for an ugly situation where you go right down the middle and you try to go through balls or do this right here, which, you know, obviously I was trying to play regular football as you saw, but this is what happens. The players can't even get the ball off their foot because the defense is so overpowered, and then you add delay into it, which again, the first time I experienced it was tonight. I've seen a lot of content creators, other content creators talking about it, other players, and I finally got to see it. I'm not saying it didn't happen to me before, but I think because eFootball is a slower game anyway at its core, I just was used to such a fast-paced game at FC that I couldn't even notice the difference between the lag and regular eFootball. Now that I've played it more in with how bad it was tonight, where I'm talking I'd play a pass, and by the time it registered, the player had already made a 10-yard run past where he was when I originally passed it. I'm talking balls coming in for open shots and the defender being able to run 10 yards to close down my attacker before the command entered. Sometimes the command wouldn't even register at all. Other times I would win the ball and the former command I made would register and a tackle became an accidental pass to the other team. So just a lot of nonsense. You see my opponents felt it too because of this, or maybe this is just a quick counter that caused it, but I hate scoring those kind of goals. If you watch my live, I'm not happy about any of this. I want to play with Cruyff and Cantona and Kohler the way they're meant to be played with, and you had little tiny glimpses of it, but a 4-hour stream, the main highlights came from playing AI in the events, and I didn't even include any of those highlights because I wanted to point out that these kind of games happen all the time. You see 7 shots to 1, but you see 55 possession to 45, and it doesn't make sense, even though they could happen if there's certain strategies. But the reason why you see that is because the opponent is just going straight forward no matter what. They don't care about good passes. They don't care about anything but going forward and running through you, whether they have to kick it at you and steal it from you, or they just play through ball after through ball until one goes through. Either way, that's how they play, right? Once I started doing it, I started scoring goals like this. And there's no point in showing the beautiful football that can be played versus AI because then you almost trick some newcomers. And there's no doubt there's some players that are on the fence that maybe hadn't given eFootball a try like I hadn't. And I want them to be able to see what it really is like when you're grinding against the opponent. If I show all the good stuff that you can do against AI, even Legendary, because AI and the Legendary mode when I was playing, it was very, very tough. Like, they're very good. The Legendary mode is just like Ultimate Team in FC. The only difference is they have a purpose. They try to actually play football. So it'd be very misleading to show anybody that and show how, like the game being played in that way when all it is a rush fest. And I'm not saying like that goal right there, you seen the pretty little pass at the end, but that all came from just rushing right down the middle over and over and over and over, right? You see what I'm saying? You see this. The same thing with me. That was a pretty goal, right? But look how it came. Literally, once my opponent started doing it, I started doing it, and all of a sudden I exploded for goals. Whenever I was trying to actually play regular football, I didn't get rewarded, right? Even though there's some beautiful little build-up plays that were 1 or 2 passes off, all that would happen is my opponent would get it, run right down the middle. Even if I intercepted it, they'd run right through me and get it back until they scored. So the only thing that paid off is literally just doing the through ball stuff. You see me here. This is the same game. At the beginning, even 1-0 down, I didn't care. I was trying to play good football, and it didn't matter. So then, of course, once it became like evident that this is what I was facing all the time, I go, look, this is all you have to do, and I literally showed the stream. You just keep pressing triangle going forward. That's how you get rewarded. Then run at the players and try to rush them. And that's what works. And it works for a vast majority of players, and that's why they use it. To me, that's a total waste of time, which is the biggest bummer, right? Instead of being excited and having a great stream with Cantona, Cruyff, all these players, or even showing, I could care less if I got whooped and I could show you guys all my mistakes, and I would title it like Mistakes of a Newcomer. Here's what you need to do to get better. And there's no doubt I made mistakes that we could talk about. Shout out to John Weaver. He's like, hey, I'd like to talk to you. I could show you some of the things, which would be fine if it made any difference going over these certain mistakes and getting better at them, because you know that all that's going to happen is you're going to go into the game, and the only thing that's the opponent's going to do and that you can do in return is triangle, 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 run forward, pressure, 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 take it, triangle, triangle, triangle. And so I'm getting to the point where it's like, I love the fact that in 31 years of playing, I finally have 2 options outside of FC, which has its own problems, don't get me wrong, with their servers and stuff. And then I saw the magic of eFootball, and it's like, this is the game this can be it. It's so underappreciated. However, for whatever reason, Konami adding in the nonsense that they did with the pressure tactics gives FC the reason to say, look, why would you want to go play that trash? Even though anybody who plays this sees the magic that can be made, it's total opposite of what it should be. When you're playing the AI divisions 10 through 6, and even against opponents in division 6, 5, even 4, you see much better football. Once you get to division 3, it's everyone's in a skinny little formation running up and down the middle of the field, trying to just run through the other team or press triangle, through ball, through ball, through ball. Pressure, 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 like I said, over and over, and that's what happens over and over. So, yes, first poll, Cruyff and Cantona, it was great. Yes, made a goal, and I want to say I am currently, but I'm not going to lie, I'm a little dejected. But my goal was, no matter what, I'm going to play beautiful football and try to get good enough to where I can beat these rats playing the right way. I'm just in definitely in a mentally defeated state, because out of 4 hours, that was the highlights that you guys got. You saw it. Unfortunately, playing good football or attempting to didn't get me anywhere. The best little string of highlights and goals was just from literally just going forward and continuing to press triangle. That's all I did on those goals that you saw. Later in this exact game, when my opponent started doing it, it's like, that's the only thing you get rewarded by in this game. It looks like even he did it, was trying to play a little bit and then started going right down the middle. Now, you seen that the possession? At the beginning, you see here, I'm outplaying the crap out of him, I'm outpossessing him. And then all of a sudden, it's like he goes, yeah, why play football? And then change, or whatever it was. And then that's when I started doing it too. And it's kind of like, if that's all you're going to face all the time and that's what gets rewarded, that's what you're driving, Konami. So you either have to get rid of the pressure crap, get rid of quick counter, or nerf the crap out of that, or you're just going to take all of the beauty that you put into making this game and that you made possible, right, to play beautiful football, and just throw it down the drain. Because everything else that's like highlighted in this game is trash. And that's what's going on right now on the pitch. When this is all you can come up with out of a 4-hour stream, that's insane. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think that this is what plays into eFootball not getting the credit it deserves and sitting well behind FC, because I'd love to see eFootball shine more. But it's almost like this is the ugly side that's prevailing right now. So I know this big patch is coming. I guess it's similar to UFL. It's just like, we'll see what happens. Can they fix it? I mean, eFootball is so far ahead of UFL as far as having the ability to produce great football. So this is a game I'm truly, truly rooting for, because it's really magical when, and I mean that, I know I sound corny, but it truly is magical when you get rid of this type of crap, which is only in here because of quick counter, because of how fast you can shut down an offense when you just hold R1 and hold X, right? Those kind of things create goals like you just saw, as opposed to the beautiful stuff that can be created. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Keep grinding, keep having fun. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.